Georgie, forgive me, we will get round to talking with you, but I'd just like to share with you a variety of stories from today's English newspapers. One subject in particular that they all had on their mind. Here they are. So,
you've been busy and you've not even been there.
Was that to take over from Grays and Key?
I think it might be.
So, a little like yesterday, I don't really need to ask the question, do I? What is the answer?
Well, the answer is I've had no contact from West Ham, and I've always said that I want to go back into club management. That would be my choice, and if the right opportunity comes around, then I'll be interested.
There is a manager in place at the moment. That's why I always hate having to ask these questions when that is the case. So let's point that out. Slaven Bilic has not gone anywhere. But if that vacancy, as is being reported today, occurs, are you interested?
I'm interested, yeah, but until that vacancy comes available, and at the moment it's not available, so I've been there myself and I know what Slaven's going through at the moment. He must be, hating it, but wanting to get a result as quickly as he can. So, if it comes available, yes, but at the moment it's not available.
Does the geography matter to you, where your next job is?
No, the geography doesn't matter if I feel as if it's a good club.
So north or south?
North or south, it doesn't matter to me. No problems.
Whilst we're on the subject, Scotland, what about that? Your name's also been linked with the national team manager's job.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there?
I certainly one day want to manage Scotland, if I'm lucky and fortunate enough to do that. I don't know if it's right for me just now, and I think my preference, as I said, would be going to club management. If club management didn't come along for me, then maybe I would look at it differently. But at the moment, my aim is to go back in there, and I would really like to manage my country someday, but probably not this time.
But not
around.
now. So we can take that as a no.
Yeah.
Let me just a little further, if I may. Would you think, and obviously events are not your gift, but would you think you might be back involved at club level at the other side of the international break?
I really don't know. I hope so, but unfortunately, for me to get back in, it means there's a manager going to have to lose his job, and I wouldn't wish that upon MD.
Might this be the last time we see you for a little while?
I don't know.
But I don't think David would mind too much.
Well, we have enjoyed keeping your company, and obviously going forward, we'd like to think that we will renew this association at some stage, but maybe not in the short term.
I think the jobs, whoever jobs you take, you're not in them very long, so
well, exactly.
It won't be too long till you're back out whenever.
I don't know, 10 years at Everton wasn't bad.
No, 11 actually.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
The speculation, George, is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think you two are also horrible, because it's like they look at the diary, David, and they go, oh, let's invite all the managers who don't have a job right now. Let's invite them over to our show so we can actually grill them to the ground.
You know that's not the case.
We like to keep them busy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's the way it is.
We've always said, and I would not hide from it, that a long-term injury and a sacking can be good news if you work in our business.
Yes.
But David's been out for a little while, and it's just that we knew he was available.
Okay.
So it was.
It just planned. It just fit in.
It just
nicely.
felt like that.
Yeah.
And your good self?
Oh, he's always available.
On that note, back to the date. And to give us more team news, please.
It's a good afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good afternoon.
I'm sure we'll get more time, David, to talk tomorrow, and I'm sure you expect for that to be the case. But you, as much as anybody, must be hurting watching what's happening at Everton right now.
I'm amazed, because actually I had them down to be in the top 6.
So did I.
I even said on one show that I thought they would get into the top 4, because
Thank you. So did I.
I had got myself in a position where I thought that the signings, the money I'd spent, I can tell you in our time we spent nothing like it. We got to the top 4, and it took a long road to get there, slowly development, slowly getting a bit better. But I actually thought, because of what they spent, and I actually think they've bought good players. I do. I think they've bought good players. I'm not sure if they've bought all the right pieces, but I think they've bought good players, and I don't expect them to be where they are now.
Well, it's a big weekend in that respect, isn't it? If they don't start winning games, we've already mentioned it. I don't see your name linked with it, I'm sorry to ask,
No.
but should it be?
Well, I think that I had 11 great years there. I loved it, and actually I remember the day I left, everybody applauded me off the pitch, and I think most people would have said he's going to join Manchester United, that's fine, and it didn't break any contract. So I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm not surprised of football now, because I think football means that, you know, sometimes going back isn't always the answer. But I actually think Jose Mourinho went back to Chelsea, won the league. I hope I get the name right. Jupp Heynckes is now going back to Bayern Munich for the third time. So I think going back isn't maybe what it used to be, that it didn't work.
But are you a better coach now, do you think?
Better coach, better all-round manager because I think in football you have to go through difficult times as well to see what it's like. Yeah. You do it. And actually, the way the jobs are now, I think that it's even more needed, because, you know, navigating through the Premier League now and winning the games isn't easy.
It's not a formula that you haven't faced either, this at Goodison, is it?
No.
As much as you had success at the top end, you've also faced one or two of these.
Definitely. And when I took over the job, we were just outside the bottom three.
Yeah, that's right.
And actually, I remember the first game we beat Fulham. I remember going to the next game was at Derby, then we went to Newcastle. We had to win the games to stay up. So it was the same, and I think we had maybe 8 games or 6 or 8 games before the end of the season. And we won them, and then we started to say, right, what can we do and get it better? But we weren't able at that time to go out and say, OK, there's 40 million, we can go and buy a new player. That wasn't the case. We had to bring our own young players in.
I just want to stay with this for a minute. It's not a direction in which I intended to go, to be fair, but I've said to Andy, you'll understand this. You breezed in there and you gave us this phrase, the People's Club. I've always been of the opinion, if you haven't touched the ball there, you're right up against it. But with that phrase, I think you got it. There's something different about Everton, isn't there, that you have to embrace.
I think so, definitely. I think Andy played there, and Andy played in the best team under the best manager there's ever been at Everton. So there's no question about that. But Everton for me was an industrial football club. It was a tough area it came from. The people demanded a type. Yeah, they wanted good football. Of course they did. Everybody wants good football. But they wanted sort of honesty, commitment. And I hope and I think that we gave them that. And through the time, because there was given time, you get allowed to develop the team, you get a slightly better player in, you slightly change it a bit. But initially, the job was to make sure that we could get Everton away from the bottom three and make sure we weren't relegated.
So you know what the next question is, don't you? Do I need to ask it?
Well, the answer would be, of course it would have to be yes, but I've got other things ongoing, and you know, it might not be too long till I'm back in work. So if the job came up, then it would have to be an interest, but I've got other interests as well.
That's a little tease.
There's a little one. And of course you've good mates with the chairman, of course, Bill. And you got a
Bill.
Fabulous relationship.
Yeah, Bill I think is one of the best chairmen. So anybody who does get the job will be working with a really good chairman who's incredibly supportive.
Glad you said that about top 6, top 4. I've been laughed out of court this year because that's exactly what I said.
I expected Everton to be top 6. I just
no, not by you.
When you said top 4.
Elsewhere, I really, like David thought, there's a lot of good players going in there. Probably that's the key. And you said too many of the same type.
Yeah.
Too many number 10s.
Well, if we have time, I would say, Jordan Pickford, who we had at Sunderland last year, is a future England international goalkeeper. Michael Keane, who they've signed, I see has been a future England centre-half. I think Everton have signed good players. I really do. I think they've signed good players. I think maybe they've signed 2 or 3 where you're saying, I don't know what one's better than the other one. But I think that a lot of the players Everton have signed are good players.
Would you have taken Rooney back?
Wayne is as good a goal scorer as there is in the Premier League if he plays, for me, number 9 often enough, but maybe you do need to get a different type of legs around him in positions to help him.
So you would?
Yes, I would have, yeah.